So what is going on, everybody? How we doing today? This is Ray Condor coming in once again, and I am a Colombian YouTuber, and today I'm doing something different. You guys have seen me go against white passport bros, black passport bros, even talked about a certain Korean passport bro. We're gonna talk about Mexican traveler who has been in Colombia. I can't say passport bro because he doesn't use that name, but if you go through all his channel, all his channel shows is dating in Dominican Republic, dating in Brazil, dating here. He's been to 20 different countries, but all he talks about is dating. I'm going to let you guys, be the judge of this, but I have something special today because, he talks about Colombia. He says, which is worse, which is more dangerous, Colombia or Mexico? So we're going to go into this and I'm going to give my opinion as a Colombian YouTuber. I would like to give a little fair warning. He does have a little bit of a strong language. And also, I would like to let you know that I do have family members that have dated Mexican people. I have one of my sisters. She's dating a Mexican person right now. I've been to the country a few times. Colombia and Mexico have always had a good relationship with each other. We respect each other's culture. We admire each other's culture. So we're going to see what he says.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today's topic is going to be which one is more dangerous, Colombia or Mexico? I've been wanting to do a video like this for a minute, so I'm not going to make this one long. So I think they're both equally dangerous in certain aspects, but I think as far as like foreigners, I think Mexico does a pretty good job of protecting foreigners for the most part.
Oh, you mean like American tourists who were shot and some of them were killed in a crossfire between different cartels and different gang members in Tulum, Playa del Carmen, Cancun? When I went to Cancun with my ex-girlfriend, these shootings were happening. Okay, I had to be very careful with my ex-girlfriend that I was not putting myself and her in those positions. I have never heard in Colombia where you see that cartel members or accidentally shoot a tourist or anything like that. You want to know why? Because we're in the middle of a civil war. You see, my friends, what happens is that the difference between Mexico and Colombia is in a civil war because of these military factions, these militia groups that are opposing the government. They're the top dogs who can actually fight against the government. And because they're the top dogs, it means that the cartels are the middlemen. In Colombia, the cartels work for these militia groups, and they're under strict orders by these militia groups not to touch the local population and not to touch the foreigners.
Compared to Colombia, I think Colombia's attitude now is kind of like, we don't care. You see it even in the comments when Americans get drugged, like, let's make Medellin dangerous. So there's a certain population in the country of Colombia that kind of wants these bad things to happen versus Mexico. Mexicans don't want to see bad things happen to tourists.
No, that is false on many different situations. Number one, keyword when he says that only a certain population. Number one, Medellin does not represent all of Colombia. Each part of Colombia each region is like a separate country. So yes, it is true that there is a group of people in Medellin who are not happy with the sex tourists. And some of these people are making extremely negative comments and sensitive comments and downright sometimes xenophobic comments to certain foreigners and certain passport bros and sex tourists because that's what they don't want. But that doesn't represent all of Medellin. That does not represent all of Colombia. Do experiences with a few people, it doesn't mean that we all think like that. I can guarantee you this because from watching your channel, you haven't been to different parts of Colombia. So you can't say how we all think generally.
Or foreigners that live there. So that's a big difference. You also have accountability issues. You'll see Colombians blame foreigners for like the bad things that happen to them, like when they get drugged, they get deleted, they get robbed. It's always their fault, never the robber's fault.
I got two answers for this. Number one, that's pretty false because I've seen plenty of Colombians to say, hey, this is really bad. This looks bad upon our society. We feel sorry for them. Number two, actually three answers. Number two, I would like to say that as a person who speaks Spanish, I have seen people in Mexico, when a foreigner gets themselves into trouble that was their fault, they say it was their fault because this is the Latino way of thinking. And I've been with Mexicans before. I've been inside Mexican households. They think the same way the Colombians do. Don't touch the stove. Don't touch the stove. You're going to get burnt. You're going to get burnt. I told you, don't cry. Don't cry. I thought I told you. Do not touch the stove. You keep on crying. It'll make you something to cry about. This is how Colombians think. I have seen many Mexicans say the same way. I'm sorry. This is called tough love. Okay, because we keep on telling you, do not go into the red light district because there's a lot of criminal elements around it, and you guys keep floating there. And if you notice, 99.99999% of the time, it's a man. Okay, you don't see too many women up in there getting robbed in parquilleras or getting scopolomied. It has happened, but not related towards the sex tourism. And number three, because this has happened frequently in the news, I see the comments all the time. Hey, we need to do something to better our image. Okay, we need to crack down on this. I feel sorry for them. But if you keep on going and keep on doing the exact same thing, I'm sorry, but we're going to feel sorry for you. The first time we felt sorry. The second time we felt sorry. If you guys know DC Born Rob was reporting that he has met people in Medellin, and he didn't want to mention the name because, yeah, I've been scopolamine 3 times already. What are you doing? I have been going to Colombia back and forth. I live there. I have never been scopolamine. I have never been robbed. None of my family has ever been robbed. Like, what are you guys doing? You guys up to no good. Stop going to the bad neighborhoods. Stop going on Tinder. I keep on telling you, if you do that, 99.999% of the time, it's not going to happen. I just had a friend of mine who went with an all-girls trip to Colombia. Nothing happened to them. They got drunk. They partied, till who knows what time. It was a group of 20 of them. Nothing happens.
And Mexico is not like that. If you get robbed, you're never gonna hear a Mexican go, "Ha ha, you deserved it because you went out with a girl on Tinder." Ha 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 ha.
Yes, I have, and I have friends from different parts of Mexico. Don't give me that. I have friends from Tijuana. I have friends from Oaxaca. I have friends from Mexico City. I have seen that. As a person who watches TikTok and YouTube in Spanish, I have seen that. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. I'm sorry. I'm not buying that. I have seen that from your people as well. Okay.
Like Colombians just have a tendency of making excuses for a shitty ass culture that they have in Medellin. I call it for what it is.
Excuse me, 6 Colombian women have disappeared in Mexico, and I can also give you stories about multiple Colombian women that have been deleted, dismembered, or cut into tiny itty bitty pieces. It is a common known fact amongst Colombian women that it's dangerous to go to Mexico, not vice versa, okay?
¡Qué tierra tan hermosa! Me la traje a Santa Rosa. ¿Santa Rosa de qué? Santa Rosa Viterbo en Boyacá, la tierrita. ¿Dónde, compadre? Señora, el alcalde Wilson Ricardo Valle. Sí, vamos a ver si está por ahí con los ahijados. Ay, los del su merced. Su merced. Ay, sí, señor. Ay, comadrita, qué aire tan fresco. Mira ese verde de las montañas. Esto es Boyacá. Qué alegría vivir por acá. Ay, comadrita, por eso la traje para acá, para el Valle de Cuchi, en Santa Rosa de Viterbo, comadrita. Aquí hay huertas, conejos, hay gallinas, ovejas, de todo, comadrita.
I looked through your comments, and some people were telling you that you have not traveled throughout Colombia. I think you only said you only been to Parque Lleras. These women that I just showed here are from Cundinamarca. No, I'm sorry, from Boyacá. Su merced, your mercy. How can I help you, thy mercy? The most exciting thing that happens over there is growing potatoes in the festivals. Those people son sanos, okay? Those people don't have any mañas. They're not going around trying to rob you, everything else. You need to stop hanging around the red light districts. Go to Putumayo, go to Mocoa, go to Pasto, go to Villavicencio, go to Santander and all those other places. And I can guarantee you that you will find good people. Okay, there's an old saying in Colombia, and I said this in my other video that I responded to a white passport bro. El ladrón juzga por su condición. The thief judges by his condition. Because he's a thief, he thinks that everybody's a thief. Because the majority of the people in Colombia do not go around doing that kind of stuff. I do take offense to the comment that you said. Okay, first of all, number one, I am not a paisa. I'm not from Medellin, all right? I am Bajuno, also known as Vallecaucano. And even though we have different rivalries amongst each other, okay? One thing I can tell you is that the people who are paisas from Medellin, they are very, very, very educated people. And they are also very polite. One of the most polite in the country. So for you to say that about them, no, that is offensive to me. And that is offensive to the entire nation. Talk about, oh, we cover for that type of culture. No. Like somebody else said, this Colombian YouTuber, okay, he said that you guys go there with that type of energy. You attract what you bring.
It's not a beautiful culture when half the women over there are like selling themselves and the other half are trying to take advantage of you for money. So,
because believe it or not, Robin, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I was told is Colombia is actually a very conservative country.
They're very proud people that would rather be broke than ever do that, right? So you are just confined to these small areas in Poblado, especially Poblado, where all of them come to that are flooding into this area to come take your money because that's what you're there for.
There's a lot of guys that be going to Medellin that stick to these poblados and provenzas that they'll throw around a stat. And they'll say that, all right, like 80% of the women in Medellin are working women. What do you think about that? Like, do you think that's accurate or do you think that's just a myth?
It's 100% a myth, right? So maybe 80% of the women that you're around are because you're in the area that they all gravitate towards and come to work, and you only stay in those areas, so that's what you're exposed to. But it's grossly irresponsible to label all the women like that because, man, like I said, I've dated multiple women in Medellin. I have dated women that are drop dead gorgeous that could be out there doing that have way too much pride, way too, like, their values will not allow them to even come close to that. And when you start to say that all women are that, you start to include them in there, and that's another thing that gives us a really bad name. It's just really irresponsible to talk that way, because what you're doing is you're putting everybody in a box, man. And this goes back to the thing that we're talking about before, and just in terms of having respect and how important it is to their culture. To say that is very disrespectful, and it's inaccurate.
I think a lot of these guys, they'll go to Medellin, they'll be stuck in these areas like what we said. They don't venture off. And so because they've encountered a decent amount of working women in those neighborhoods, which that's pretty much what you're going to see in those neighborhoods, they're just going to assume the rest of Medellin's like that. So let me just say 80%, 90%, 100% is working women, when in reality, that's not the truth.
It is what it is, man. I speak the truth, man. Not like these other content creators that sell you a dream. Like, they like us over there. No, they don't. But anyways, in Mexico,
What we like are people with culture. What we like are world travelers.
Dia de las Velitas and Dia de Lima, Colombia! This is my most favorite holiday in Colombia. Let me tell you a little bit about Dia de las Velitas. It's actually a religious holiday here in Colombia.
I visited Barichara, Colombia, which is known as one of the prettiest colonial towns in the country. We did a 2-hour guided tour for less than $2.50. We got to ride in these colorful buses as we explored the city. Our guide took us to 12 different landmarks, and it never felt rushed. This town is known for the cobbled roads and Spanish architecture, and is even said to be one of the inspiration towns for the movie Encanto. We visited on a Thursday afternoon. It was actually Thanksgiving Day, and we felt like it wasn't packed at all. For this being late November.
Why is it that when you go to Parque Tayrona and near Santa Marta, you find people from a different class? You find people from Europe.
Of all the amazing places we saw in Colombia, La Ciudad Perdida was the most spectacular. The city is buried deep in the Sierra Nevada National Park and is only accessible by a 4-day hike through the jungle. The route took us through indigenous territories where we met the Wiwa tribe, who believe that every living thing is sacred and that it's their life's work to protect the natural.
Why is it when you go to Ibagué to the music festival, you'll find a whole bunch of Canadians and French people there? Did you guys know that Colombia is known as the land of the 1,000 rhythms? Yes, my friends. Colombia has literally 1,025 rhythms. I have seen other estimates like 1,007, 1,009. I just looked it up, 1,025. Hundreds of different genres, okay? And in Ibagué, they celebrate all those different types of music, including classical music, including folk music. Vallenato and also cumbia are beloved in Mexico. Mexico literally absorbed and took our cumbia and our vallenato and made it their own. This is how popular it has become. Guys, let's be honest. How many Passport Bros have you seen involved in this type of music? Involved in cultural affairs? Involved in the local folk music? Nope. They gotta go to Medellin and gotta go to the clubs in Parquilleras and Club Gusto and everything else. And they listen to North American rap. They listen to reggaeton. They listen to everything else that is not Colombian. Why? Fooling me. You're not tricking me. Who are you trying to kid? You're going there for the adult services workers. You only go to the red light districts. And this is why you have a dim view of Colombia. You're not going there for tradition. You're not going there for culture. You're not going for dialects and for food, for different types of rhythms and music. And since you hang around the worst part of society, you think that all of Colombia is like that. You don't see the Passport Bros there. What we like are educated, cultured people who travel to see real Colombia, not just red light districts. I'm sorry to say this. Yeah, you're right. Some of those Passport Bros on there are lying, because they're posting an image that is not true about Colombia. Colombia is not 2 blocks of a small park. There's not even a park that I can walk 2 minutes across, because I've been through there. All right?
my experience is this, bro. In Mexico, as long as you behave right, nothing's gonna happen to you. Have people get drugged in Mexico? I know a few, but it's very rare that it happens.
Same thing in Colombia. You mind your business, you don't get into any trouble, nothing will happen to you. Like I said before, and I have video proof and I have pictures of multiple people of different countries going to Colombia. Nothing happens to them. I've met German people, I've met Koreans, I've met Chinese in El Eje Cafetero, the coffee access region, not in Parquilleras, not in El Poblado, not in Laureles, okay? I have met them in the deepest part of Colombia, which I didn't even think you would even see them, all right? And nothing happened to them. You know why? Because they're not looking for DRUGS, because they're not looking for adult services workers. They're not hanging around in areas that they should not be in.
It's a rare occurrence But in Colombia, it's happening all the time. The drugging, what makes Colombia dangerous is that the woman factor. You got men that are going over there, and I'm not to say that foreigners don't go to Mexico to chase women too, because they do, but not Mexico's not really known for that. You don't see groups of guys going, oh, I can't wait to go to JDL or Mexico City to chase after Mexican women. Like, they see them as tortas, and that's good because I don't want that type of crowd anyways in my country. But in Colombia, you see guys like, they see the TikToks, you see the Instagram, they see the glamours, the Hollywood, like, oh, you know, I gotta come over here. Look how beautiful the woman is, dude. But it's not like that. There's a danger element, guys.
Once again, stop going to the red light districts in Medellin or in Bogota. It is more, Colombia is more than Medellin or Bogota. Colombia is more than a red light district. You know why these other knuckleheads don't go to Pasto? Because it's not out there like that where they can go pick up girls like that. You know why they don't go to freaking Puerto Asís? Because it's not out there they can pick up people like that. Listen up, everybody. This is Puerto Asís. Puerto Asís is in the department, province, or what you call a state of Putumayo. Putumayo goes, parts of it go into the Amazon, parts of it go into the Andes mountain regions, because I'm Andean, I'm from the mountainous regions, right? Are you gonna have passport bros in the Amazon partying it up on boats? Or if you were to show them, hey, look, there's women down here, it's a different type of women. Are you guys going to go down there to find Amazonian women? Because each region of Colombia is different and not all the Colombian women are like paisas. Because for some reason, these guys travel to Medellin to find the paisas who are operated on like narco Barbies. Are you guys going down there for culture? Are you guys really down there for dating? Because I don't think you guys are dating. No, you're not. Not a good example, but let's pick something else. Let's go Pradera in Valle del Cauca. You're not going to be finding like all over the streets and nothing like that.
Papi, estos son 3 lugares que puedes conocer si visitas el hermoso municipio de Pradera. Papi, es que Pradera con su bella cultura y sus paisajes tan hermosos se está volviendo uno de los municipios más bonitos para visitar. Entonces pilla estos 3 lugares. El primero es Oasis Centro Vacacional, un hermoso lugar rodeado de montañas, con piscinas, lagos de pesca, en el cual te vas a pegar un pasadía bien sabroso. Y si visitas Pradera también es una muy buena opción para hospedarte. Lo curioso es que en ese hospedaje te dan la opción de que vivas una experiencia coreana, en el cual encontrás juegos de su cultura, historias geniales y hasta pasabocas con sus platillos más representativos. Y encontrás planes que te incluyen desayuno, almuerzo y cena, papá. ¡Qué calor! El segundo es que puedes conocer el Mirador del Danubio, una experiencia campesina que tenés que darte la oportunidad de vivir. Es perfecto este lugar para las personas que son amantes a los días lluviosos con un cafecito caliente. Probamos su almuerzo y su gastronomía buff. Ese sancocho está una delicia. Anda, pruébalo y me decís mentiroso. Y aparte también vivimos la experiencia del proceso de manjar blanco, que nos quedó fue melo. Obviamente no me podía ir sin raspar la olla. Y todo su espacio y su clima te van a hacer enamorarte de este lugar, te aseguro que sí.
Stop hanging around the red light districts. Colombia is more than the red light districts. Freaking knuckleheads. Who are you trying to kid? Who are you trying to kid?
The druggings every single year get worse and worse and worse. You got a mayor that doesn't care. Even the interview with the mayor, what did he say? He's like, oh, they're messing with wrong people. So it starts from the top. So you have a mayor that's saying that, screw y'all, we don't care. It's going to just trickle down all the way to the police, and the police are going to be like, we don't care either. Now, do they catch some people? Yes, they do for same face, but it's kind of like in Mexico too when they catch like bad people and they go, look, we caught this one guy. But Mexicans damn well know that we know who's running the show. And so it's just show face, you know, like, oh, we caught these guys with like certain amount of whatever narcotics or weapons and shit, but it's a show face. Even Mexicans will tell you that. But when Mexicans, like, we have these conversations, you can have these conversations with us and be open about it. We're not gonna like victim blame you. We're not gonna
lies. I have seen some instances when people have gone to Mexico, okay? Some Europeans and North Americans have gone to Mexico and they have gotten into trouble there. And I hear the Mexicans say the exact same thing. Don't give me that. Quit lying. I'm calling you out. You are a liar. Not too long ago, I saw this guy in freaking, I'm not sure if it was Sinaloa. I think it was in Sinaloa. And I'm sure you probably heard about this, right? It was basically a guy who sat down to eat on the street. I'm not sure if he was a street worker, a worker or not, that he probably like fixes the streets or something like that. And he sat down to eat. Guy came out and told him to get off his property. Everybody came out and stood up and protested in front of his house. And I was looking at the comments and freaking TikTok. It said, this is what he gets. This is Sinaloa. They're going to come after him. You better not mess with us. Blah, blah, blah. And some people were saying that he was a Mexican, but U.S. citizen. And then he moved to Mexico and they said, this is not how we do things there. All right. And they were saying the exact same things that you're saying in victim blaming, right? Victim blaming. He says, what is he should know better to go there and do that kind of stuff. I have seen people get erased in Mexico, and the Mexicans have even stated, what was he doing? He should not have been doing that. He was dumb for doing that. He should not be looking for that. Come on, don't give me that. Don't give me that. I know I have friends in Mexico. Okay, do not give me that. No, 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 no.
Shit on you. We're not gonna be, oh, it's your fault because you went out with a girl on Tinder. Like, Colombia is the only country that I know of where you could go out with a girl on Tinder, and if you get drugged or you get deleted, it's your fault. Make that make sense. But
because Colombians don't do Tinder. You'll have very few percentage of them that will. Most of the women that are on Tinder are at street workers, okay? And those street workers have ties to gangs. They have ties to people who work the streets, who are do illegal things. And we could keep on telling you, do not go to Tinder. And if you go to Tinder and it happens to you, I'm sorry, what do you expect? What did you expect? You see this woman here? She took a picture next to a leopard, right? You see this comment here? This is an American teller. What did you expect? Why are you so stupid? Stop putting yourselves in danger. Don't go to Tinder. Don't go to the red light district, and nothing will happen to you.
which country is more dangerous? Hands down, Colombia. Like, it's not even close, guys. Like, I see a lot of Colombian guys go, oh, their cars are, bro, these people run this country and they control it to the aspect where they don't really let bad stuff happen. Now, does bad things happen? Yes, they do. But for the most part, they don't. And shit, you don't have to worry about you going out with a girl and getting kidnapped, getting drugged, getting deleted. Those things don't happen in Mexico for the most part. Now, you do have police corruption, you do have extortion with the police, but I'd rather pay the police $100 than get drugged by two paisas in Medellin and get all my shit stolen. Like, who was it? I think it was Tobias or another YouTuber. They got drugged and the police showed up. They didn't even take the girls to jail.
Well, I just looked at the travel advisories map on the Department of State, and it literally shows, as you can see behind me, that certain parts of Mexico are level 4 and all of Colombia is a level 3. Like Sinaloa, Michoacan, Tamaulipas. Those are the ones that are a level 4. Now, do I agree with this? Actually, I'm going to give this to Ulysses. You want to know why? Because Colombia is in the middle of a civil war. So if you want to talk about which country is more dangerous, it depends on what you're talking about. If you talk about like street level crime, yeah, Mexico will be worse because, you know, they do have problems with the cartels in certain areas. But like he said, if you mind your business, nothing's going to happen to you, both in Mexico and both in Venezuela. I mean, both in Mexico and both in Colombia. However, Colombia is in a civil war right now, and there's certain areas that I can guarantee that if you go there, you will not make it come back as a tourist or even as a local. And it is a no-go zone area. So if you want to know which one is more dangerous, I would say Colombia is more dangerous because we have an active civil war. We have actual combats going on right now that are attacking the government between different militia groups. So yeah, I will give it to him.
But anyways, I promise I was not going to make this video long. But anyways, guys, simple answer, Mexico is a lot more safer. Like, I see people walking at night in Mexico, especially in Guadalajara and other cities compared to, you're not going to see people walking in Cali, Colombia at night, or in Bogota or Medellin. Hell no, you're not, bro. It's rare for you to see that. But safety issue, especially Guadalajara, is very safe. Mérida is very safe. Tulum, Playa del Carmen, Cancun, safe. Mexico City can be a little bit sketchy, but I wouldn't walk around in Mexico City though. And Monterrey, I think I'd say could be safe. There's some cities that I would avoid in Mexico for right now because of the violence, but most of the tourist cities, they're pretty safe. And Colombia, I think almost anywhere you go to, except for the small cities, like, you might be able to get away with walking at night. But anyways, guys, I hope this helps. Like I said, you see a lot of people bashing the Colombian guys, always bashing the Colombian lovers. I'm not talking about the Colombians. I'm talking about the people that live in, the foreigners that live in Colombia, the expats always bash. Like, they always bring up cartel shit. When you look at Colombia, you're like, bro, didn't the mayor just say that he doesn't care that y'all get drugged? That's pretty much what he did. And then he's handing out flyers. And then he's putting like the bus stops, like, don't mess with underage, whatever, like all over the city, bro. That goes to show you that in that country, in that city itself, they really don't want y'all there, man. So come to Mexico, guys. You want to meet like good, authentic people, genuine friends, bro, this is the place where you're gonna do it, man. Good food, good vibes, good parties, bro. And you don't have to worry about people taking advantage of you or riding you. Like, I seen some of these YouTubers like complain about women taking advantage of them, and I start laughing like, well, maybe you should come to Mexico and, you know, and talk about how great the country is versus the country that you're at right now where they're just bending you over. But anyways, guys, hope you like this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. And if you agree, you disagree, whatnot, guys. But until next time, guys, take care.
So in the end, what is my opinion? Guys, listen to what he said. If you passport bros want to go to Mexico and go date over there, fine. Please, please listen to him. Leave us alone. Okay? Colombia has no problem with tourism. We have zero problems with tourism. We have tourists from China. We have tourists from Europe, tourists from Canada. Regular tourists, we have no issue with. Okay? But certain guys who I call passport bros, and I'm going to be very honest with you, and this is going to hurt you guys' feelings. You guys are a bunch of sex tourists because you're not going there for dating. All right? He knows and I know because we're both Latino that if you date, you're going to be dating the whole family. All right. None of this Tinder, none of this. I met a girl at a bar and taking her home. No, you're going to meet her family. You're going to meet her mother and her father and everything else. Because like I said, one of my sisters is dating a Mexican guy. This is her second Mexican boyfriend, by the way. And you know what my father did? He went over there and he had dinner with the family to find out who they are. When I had girlfriends in Colombia, I had to meet the entire family. And I dated people from different regions. Remember when I said that each region is like a different culture, like a different country? Even still, the one core value that we have is you're going to be dating the entire family. My ex-girlfriend is Afro-Colombian descent. I met her entire Afro-Colombian family. Her grandmother, her grandfather, her grandmother's sister, her uncle twice removed, her friend's little sister from church way back in the day. I had to meet every single person. And when I went to Pereira, it was the exact same thing. And this woman who was older already and who had a 15-year-old son, because I'm an older man who's balding, as you can tell. All right. I had to meet her best friend. I had to meet her sister. I had to meet her friend's sister and everything else. And I had to go through the 100 questions with everybody else. And once you date, you will date the entire family. None of this about I'm taking her back to my place. No, you are going to go out with her little cousins. You're going to go out with her and her aunts, and you're going to go as a group. None of that nonsense. No, 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 no. Once again, everybody, this is Rey Condor. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Please share so to push the algorithm. Guys, I'm trying to get back to my roots because my whole purpose of my channel was not to be a passport bro fighter or a passport bro, criticizer or anything else. My whole purpose of this video channel, it was for people who want to go to Colombia. It was to be a travel channel for people who want to learn culture, who want to learn food, who want to learn music, and who want to learn something different, something that is different than what you're used to give you a better experience when you travel to my country. And it is really hurtful. It's really disparaging when you turn on Facebook and you see guys showing nothing but women shaking their butts and telling me that you're dating when it's clearly, obviously, that they're prostitutes. All right. And I'm being honest with you. I know people from the different corners of Colombia. I know people in the Amazonian region. I know people in the Andean region, where I'm from, the mountainous area. I know people from the Pacific. I know people from the Llanos, which are the flatlands of the east. I know people from the northern coast. Okay, people in the deserts. Everybody's complaining about you some way, somehow, one way or another, because you guys are going down there and get into a bunch of trouble. Like, for example, like Ulysses. I'm sorry, bro. I'm not trying to take food away from you. If you're trying to be scandalous or what to bring attention to you, that's fine. All right, but not on the backs of my people. I will not turn the place that I had been baptized in. Okay, I will not turn my baptism, the place of my baptism, into a brothel for you. All right, and you guys are sitting there and complaining. Oh well, your meta is because we went into Tinder, because it is full of criminal elements. Okay, it is full of criminal elements. Don't go to bad neighborhoods. And you guys go to bad neighborhoods. Don't put your hand on the stove. You put your hand on the stove like a little kid. And some of you do it 3 or 4 times. Like DC Born Rob, the one guy, one American who partly lives in Medellin and reports the news from Medellin. He himself, he did the same blink that you did. He did the same blink. Oh, some people have told me, oh yeah, I got scopolamine 3 times. And he's looking at you, he's like, and he says the exact same thing. That I say, guys, go down there. If you want to meet people, don't go meet prostitutes. Don't go hang around the red light districts. Don't go on Tinder. You want to meet women? I'm going to teach you, okay? Number 1, this is hi. Hi, how are you doing? My name is such and such. That's how you begin, by saying hello, all right? Not, you got WhatsApp? No, you don't ask them what was their phone number right on the same way. I don't walk to people in the streets in any country and ask them their phone number the first thing I see them. You do not do that. Second of all, do things that are cultural. Join local organizations. Like I said, each region has a different type of music. Go and research and say, hey, what is the local music of this area? What do you guys listen to? Okay, go join workshops. Go take dance lessons. All right. Can you introduce me to what type of food? Right. Go to cultural centers. Go and meet people of different cultures. All right. Stop hanging around red light districts. That's how you will meet people. And trust me, eventually you will find one that is right for you. All right. But the thing is that if you go in there and I'm walking, and if a woman's walking down the street and you say, what's up? What's up? Pretty, 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 pretty. No, they're not going to say, who the heck is this guy? Because Colombia is already dangerous as it is, according to Ulysses, right? No woman in Mexico is going to do that. You got what's up? You got what's up? She's not going to give me her number. She's probably going to tell her brother, and her brother's going to come looking at me after me with 3 guys. What you doing talking to my sister? Who do you think you are? All right. So no. All right, guys. Thank you very much, and have a good day.